Well, the Bible teaches us that the very moment that we depart from this body, that we're at present with the Lord. In fact, 2 Corinthians, Paul wrote the church at Corinth once again, and he wrote this. He says, we are of good courage, I say. I prefer, he says, about himself, rather be absent from the body, be at home with the Lord. And so the idea of sleep in verse 51 is used throughout the Bible as to describe something of death. It's not that we're asleep. It's not a soul asleep. We're somewhere. But at the same time, it's just used as a figure of speech. But he says in the moment, verse 52, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trumpet, for the trumpet will sound, the dead will be raised imperishable, and you will be changed. He says in the last days, we're going to have a glorified body. A body that's raised up, and he describes it. He says it's not just a physical body. He says, for this perishable must put on the imperishable. My soul must leave this earthly body that is perishable and be joined together with something that's imperishable. And this mortal body must put on immortality. And when this perishable will have put on the imperishable, and this mortal would have put on immortality, then will come about with the saying, it is written, death is swallowed up in victory. We've won. We've won the victory over death because Jesus Christ died, he was buried, and he rose again. And it's described a little further, beginning in verse 42. He says, so also is the resurrection of the dead. It is sown a perishable body. It is raised imperishable. And it's talking here about durability. We have eternal bodies now. Sin has placed a limitation on our body, but now those limitations will not be there. Verse 43, it is sown in dishonor. It is raised in glory. All of us have been dishonored at some point by our body. It's imperfect. We've been embarrassed with our mind. Maybe in school we didn't know the right answer. Embarrassed as we get older. Here's a guy racing down the basketball floor, and he should have retired the year before. He falls down on his face. I remember Willie Mays, one of the greatest baseball players ever to play the game, and he was playing outfield in the World Series for the New York Mets the year he retired. He was chasing a fly ball in the World Series, and he fell down. About 41, 42 years old, he just hung on too late. Our bodies embarrass us. But he says it's going to be raised to glory. Now, the glory talks about value that you'll have in heaven. You know, you have 5 senses, right? Am I right about that? You have 5 senses? I'm down about 3.5. Kind of things are depleting a little bit. But maybe in heaven you're going to have 100 senses. 1,000 senses. Maybe you're going to be like the X-Men, Maybe you're going to be like an Avenger. Maybe the fantasies will be coming true in your life. But here's the thing. Listen to me very carefully. Whatever it looks like, it's going to be raised for glory. And so you will be what all you ever wanted to be.